Alright, I've tried to record this video like 3 times. Liverpool are Premier League champions. Incredible. I don't know if you guys can see the view behind me on this. Just up Gullen Hill, 7th tee. Um, yeah, Liverpool are Premier League champions. 20 times. Absolutely incredible. A little bit hungover after yesterday. Definitely enjoyed myself, and why not? Those things don't come around often, if ever. Definitely very privileged to be feeling this way, and it's been a long road. Obviously, Slot comes in and takes over from Klopp, and we get that whole thing in COVID. And I remember sitting in the flat in Gullen when I got back from America, just sitting in that flat with my brother, and we couldn't go out and see anyone. And I poured a little whiskey and I had it, and it was nice, but I felt like it wasn't fair. It wasn't right. I know obviously a lot of people are losing their lives and stuff in that time period, and you could say it's a game of football with 11 men running around kicking the ball around to the goal, but it's incredible, football and the connections I've made through football and the times I've had with friends and family, and it's a hell of a game. It really, really is, and that kind of leads why I'm very passionate and trying to be very consistent on doing this, because if I can continue to make a living in football doing something like this and just kind of sharing my thoughts and my opinions on things, then that would be the dream. But yeah, I think Slot's come in. He's taken over from Klopp, and he's calmed everything down, and you can see that in his team. You can see that in his persona. Although I think he's definitely started to let a little bit more emotion out over the last few kind of games, or the last month or so. And yeah, I don't think you'd want to get on the wrong side of it, but really has been incredible what he's done. Just the calmness in the team, and obviously you've got the obvious ones, your Van Dijks and your Salahs and Trents and stuff like that. But I think Neville kept saying it yesterday in the commentary. That midfield three of Gravenberch, McAllister, and Spotside has been the engine room, and that's the most important area of the pitch. Always was when I used to coach. If you had a kid that was class in the centre of midfield, no matter what, you always can have a stranglehold on the game, and you need a guy that can kick it in the goal at the other end, and a top class centre half that can stop everything. But if you've got centre midfielders, it's where it's at. And yeah, Liverpool have just had it all, and let's talk about the season being shit, and the league being shit and boring and everything. Like, whatever, y'all can sit there and say that, but Liverpool are going to probably look to get 90 plus points, and I hope we do, and that's enough to win a title in most seasons. And it's not Liverpool's fault that Arsenal didn't strengthen and City dropped off and Arsenal had injuries. Like that. That's football and that's life, and that's how things go. So yeah, hell of a season, hell of a calmness from the Reds. I can't believe it. I can't wait to be down there in May. I'm going to be there for the last game of the season. I'm going to be at the parade with my brother, potentially Greg and Scott, my two closest pals, and just emotional and sad for me. Obviously, not having my dad here, and I was sat up last night, having some drinks, watching all the Liverpool stuff, watching old clips, and just thinking he'd be sat right there with me if he was here. But I know we got to watch it yesterday with a glass of red wine wherever he was. So yeah, don't know. I'm not going to keep rambling about Liverpool. I think it's quite obvious the emotions are high. I'm gonna enjoy it over the last few weeks. Start off the weekend. I went to watch Musselburgh against Ilabith, in the kind of lower leagues, basically at top of the league kind of clash. Whoever kind of won that really was getting the league title. Musselburgh ended up winning it 2-1, so they need one more point to be promoted up into the league with Trent and stuff like that. And huge commitment. Congrats to those boys. I know Liam. I worked for him for a little while, and we've stayed in touch. We've done a podcast. We're hopefully going to do a part 2 podcast about kind of this season and Musselburgh and kind of moving forwards. And it was cool to go to a game like that and see all those people there. And it's just, I took Holly, my girlfriend, with me, and she actually had a good time. She's not a big football person. She unfortunately gets has to watch a lot of it, but yeah, she came with me, and good game. I know Nathan Evans as well that plays for them. Grew up with my brother and everything like that. So congrats to you, Nathan, as well. So it was cool to see that massive release for Musselburgh. One more point, as I said, to win the league title, and they'll be going up. And it's a young and upcoming manager in Liam Burns. So yeah, I'm calling it. You guys want to watch out for him in the Scottish lower leagues. He'll be coming up. He's got that drive and that determination. He runs his own football coaching business and Technical Edge, and that's done very well. And he's kind of conquered that space for himself. And he has a business now, and he's making an income, and he can kind of go in and do the coaching. So keep an eye out for him coming up. And then got on the bus into town. and went and watched the end of the scores, and got a little bit of the, well, not a little bit, got all of the Palace game against Villa. And Palace were unbelievable, just levels above Villa in that game. Eze was on it, and that's really cool to see them in the final. Ended up out with another guy I know, Calum Clacy, who's a big Palace fan. So congrats, Clacy, on Palace getting there. Obviously, you're going to play City after them beating Forest, and I think everyone will be wanting Palace to win that final, right? Like, especially with City, with everything that's hanging over their heads. We don't know what's going to happen with that, but yeah, hope Palace can do them in the final. That would be amazing to see. So watch that. Like I say, Eze was unbelievable. Big Mateo up top. Yeah, you can just see when a team's confident and flying and knocking the ball around. And well done to Oliver Glasner and Palace for that. And then that actually kind of fed into the boxing, and most importantly, probably the actual best quality game of the weekend was the El Clasico. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. Pedri's goal to start it off, Yamal off the left, just that quality and that level that you see in those games is just incredible. And Barcelona were amazing to watch. Pedri was really, really, really good. And yeah, if they can get past Inter Milan and get into the final, then yeah, they'll be a hell of a team to beat, even for Arsenal and PSG. So I'm excited for the Champions League after watching Barca. They're really good, very, very good. They've got a great balance about them. You can probably get at them at the back, but again, it's just that front foot, style of football. You can get anyone at the back, really. Maybe bar Arsenal, who are maybe a little bit more compact in there and kind of the way they go about things. But yeah, Barca will be hard to beat. And then had the boxing on in the background. Didn't really pay too much attention to it. I know Eubank won. Like I say, they had the El Clasico on, and then obviously yesterday was just all about the Reds and the build up, and it really, you picture and you think about it in your head, the feeling and kind of watching it, and will it be an anticlimax? And it was anything fucking but. It was a hell of a day. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, surrounded by family, and a couple of close friends, and thanks Scotty G for coming for a pint with me after the game at about 9 o'clock, after I'd already had a couple of glasses of gin. That was nice to go to the old clubhouse. My dad would have been there with me. So yeah, hell of a weekend, emotional. I don't even know what I've really rambled on about the video. I don't even think I've talked too much about football. I don't know. I'm just getting it all out. So Liverpool are fucking champions of England, number 20, tied with United, officially the biggest fucking club in the world, man. Officially. Yeah, we're coming for 21 next season, Arnie. Yeah, let's get some signings in. Let's see what you've got. See where we can take it. And I want to go back to back. I want to retain that league title. Up the fucking Reds.